Well, all week in preparation for Karen's retirement from News Channel 5, she's bringing you some of her favorite stories.
And tonight, there's the one that tops my list, my daughter Carrie's trip to China to adopt a little girl. Thousands of baby girls are abandoned in China every year. Up to 10,000 of those Chinese girls are adopted by Western parents each year. Now, Carrie's story, of course, is unique, but it's similar to thousands of others who've traveled this path to parenthood. This homecoming for Carrie Lockwood and her 10-month-old daughter, Gia, came after nearly a year and a half of planning and a lifetime of dreaming.
I always thought I'd be a mother. I've just been waiting for this.
But unmarried in her late 30s, Carrie was not a mother. Adoption looked like the answer.
And I started looking into how long it would take and backing out the time, and I realized I had to get started.
Choosing international adoption meant immunizations, background checks.
No criminal history. Thank you very much.
Stacks of paperwork and delays.
Originally I thought they said it would take 8 months after I signed up, and then 8 months was August, and then they said, well, maybe 10 months.
And more delays.
October. And they said, well, maybe 12 months, which would have been Christmas time, and then finally I got my referral in February, so it's taken 14 months.
Delays, but not discouragement.
What's meant to be will happen, and I'm sure that the baby I'm getting is my baby. So it's good that it took extra time, because that means it's a perfect match.
A perfect match for Carrie, a Chinese mother's sorrow.
Oh, I feel gratitude, and I feel, I just feel so bad for her, but it's such a big problem. So, I'm helping it out, and that woman's helping it out, and I mean, we're all working together, I think, to take care of all these little babies.
Babies waiting more than 8,000 miles away. The perfect match for Carrie took place in one quick, sweet moment in Guangzhou, China. My home video camera and I witnessed my daughter become a mother.
They brought Gia in, and she was just darling. And but she was crying. She was crying a lot. She didn't like the idea of leaving her nannies. And the babies were tired and wet and hot, and we were tired and wet and hot and nervous, and it was hard.
That nervousness continued over the next 10 days, balanced with joy.
We stayed in a hotel and lived in it was almost like a camp for adoptive families. There were probably 100 little baby Chinese girls and American families, and we all lived together in this hotel that was a great neighborhood for walking and shopping, and it was fun, and it was nice because it was so intense one-on-one for bonding. It was perfect. It was a great situation.
As they got to know their babies and dealt with coughs, colds, and colic, the parents also dealt with daily interviews and documents translated from Chinese.
It was stressful just getting through all the government appointments and getting all the official stamps and approvals, and then the American visa.
Passport photos documented one giant step closer. And then, at last, on a muggy afternoon, dozens of parents and babies squeezed into the American consulate in Guangzhou for the final step.
Do you swear or affirm that?
Yes. To make these children truly theirs.
Welcome to the United States.
All right! Now, finally assured of their futures together, exhausted parents and babies crowded into Guangzhou Airport for the 14-hour flight back to Los Angeles to begin new lives as American families.
What was so bizarre is she was the right baby. She was the right baby for me. And it was funny how the Chinese people kept saying, oh, she's so big for a 10-month-old. She's like the size of a 2-year-old. And then they'd look at me and they'd say, oh, big mama for big baby. And so I think they put us together for a reason.
And just to bring you up to date, here is my granddaughter, Caroline Gia Lockwood, today at 5.5 years old. And we have a special wish for you. Are you ready? Okay.
Happy New Year from all of us at Channel 5.
Great. Thank you, sweetheart.
Pretty.
You did it. Good. Good job.
Well, many of you have grown up with Karen. She has been with KSDK for 27 years. She's a friend and colleague to all of us. And as she gets ready to say goodbye to News Channel 5, let's look back at her amazing career. Wendell Anschutz was Karen's first co-anchor at Kansas City's KCMO.
Karen had a certain quality about her that was genuine, and I think that sold her right from the start.
Take a look at Karen's first audition tape.
As expected, shortly before midnight last night, 170,000 United Auto workers at Ford plants throughout the country walked off the job.
Karen passed that audition. She got a job as reporter immediately.
Good evening, I'm John Wilson.
And I'm Karen Foss, and in the news tonight...
A few years later, this videotape landed on the desk of Channel 5 General Manager Ray Karpowitz.
Well, we knew that she was very talented. We knew that she was great looking, and we knew that she would be very, very popular in St. Louis.
But the weather seems to have followed me to St. Louis.
She started anchoring in 1979.
I think it's the best decision I ever made in television.
Good evening, I'm Karen Foss.
And I'm Huel Perkins.
Huel Perkins co-anchored Eyewitness News from 1986 to 1989.
Once upon a time, some 16 years ago, I had the good fortune of sitting next to Karen Foss every weeknight. I was a law school student from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who got lucky because I got a chance to learn from the very best in the business.
But Karen didn't just sit behind the anchor desk. She wanted to be out in the field.
I'm Karen Foss in Washington, D.C. for Eyewitness News.
In 1981, the station sent her to cover the inauguration of President Ronald Reagan. And in 1984, she covered the Democratic National Convention. Eyewitness News reporter Ann Thompson remembers those days well.
When she was covering the political convention, she would spend hours reading about the presidential races, reading about the issues involving Missouri and St. Louis.
Over the years, Karen sat down face-to-face with people from all walks of life. First-time presidents, leaders of the Catholic Church, and local people she admires, including KMOX radio personality Ann Keith.
There's the kind that wants a name in lights, and all they care about is, do I look okay? Have I got the right angle here? And then there's the other kind that wants to do the work. And I think Karen's in that group. She's in the group that likes the work.
It's that passion that drives her still today, a passion to tell stories that not only touch the heart, but make you think.
What do you envision ahead of you?
A story like the one about Margaret Lasker, a teacher losing her battle with uterine cancer and winning the right to die at home. Weekly stories highlighting Karen's kids help place hundreds of children in loving homes. Will and Tammy Connor adopted brothers David and Michael Connor in 1987. David was just a baby.
Now I have a wonderful family who loves me, and I love them. And, I thank Karen for all her hard work, and, I thank God for her.
So compassionate, so caring. I mean, you watch Karen's kids, she throws her heart into it, her soul.
And Karen's compassion goes beyond the news desk and reaches the community. Stan Stovall co-anchored Eyewitness News from 1983 to 1986.
Of course, the key to having longevity as a news anchor in any market is not necessarily all about what you do on the air, but also the level of commitment you show off the air in the community. And I know Karen has been heavily involved in the St. Louis community for more than 25 years now.
An accident that left Karen's younger brother Dennis, a quadriplegic, inspired her involvement with Paraquat.
There was a passion there that's very unique in people. It wasn't just doing a job because she thought she should volunteer. She believed in what she was doing.
She has a real interest in an abiding love for this community, and it's just remarkable that she's been our consistent image on Channel 5 for all these years.
And through the years, as the faces at News Channel 5 have changed, she's remained the one constant, the woman viewers count on to put the news first.
And Karen Foss is a St. Louis institution in the best sense of the word. She really has made a unique contribution, not only to television journalism, but to the city as well, and we're all better for that.
And you can start your Tuesday with Today in St. Louis beginning at 5 tomorrow morning.
We are indeed all better for that. Anna.
Thank you.
On a personal note, I just want to say, I'm having a rough time. That we've worked together for more than 20 years. But a few years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was moved from sports to news. And the best thing to happen to me was to get to sit next to you. And your support and your friendship has meant everything to me. And I miss you so much.
Oh, Mike. It's been great. I've been so proud of you. I have to say, I was one of the first people that said, Mike Bush ought to move to news. And I'm so glad you did. It's been a wonderful partnership.
Great sitting next to you.
It's been great. This has been one of the most emotional days of my life, I'll tell you, and it's all because how difficult it is to say goodbye. First off to you, the viewers, the best viewers anywhere. I've loved hearing from you over the years. I've learned from you when you've corrected my mistakes. You've made me more careful with your high expectations, and you've made me look closer and reach further as I've tried to fulfill your trust. Thank you for 27 wonderful years. You are the best. It's even more difficult to say goodbye to my coworkers here at News Channel 5. We've been doing pretty well. This is without doubt one of the finest group of people in this industry. The people you rely on to bring you the news every day are not only talented, skilled